Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's me, Jojo Almasora Sebastian, your host of MSTV. Of course, MSTV is not complete without the MS on the TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Rose Luke.
Hello, Jojo. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm excited because we are bringing back someone that we have guested before.
Yes.
And I would like to get to know him a little bit in a fun way. Would you like to introduce our
All
guest?
right, yes. So we have him back here at MSTV, Mr. Brian Frugtniet. Welcome back, Brian.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Nice to see you.
Have you lost weight from the past?
Well,
Was it 3 weeks ago?
well, the pubs are all closed, so sorry, I might have lost weight.
Right.
All right. Well, Brian, welcome back to MSTV, and it's a pleasure to have you here again to have a slight discussion. Now, what I wanted to get to know is you. So, how did you get into the entrepreneurship?
Well, from memory, when I first came to Australia in 1977 from Hamburg, Germany, I was married then to Suzanne, and Suzanne was all the time working, in the airlines, in Lufthansa in Germany, and then she was working for Qantas here, and then KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, came from the back door, and because she speaks a second language as well, got her in there. And she was working 6 days a week. And I simply said, if you can put that much time into that work, I think you should start off working for yourself. And we started a travel company in George Street at number 363 George Street.
Wow, you know the address?
Yeah, oh yes,
Ah.
yeah. And there was it's on the corner, almost on the corner of King Street,
Correct.
King and George.
And so it's a travel agency.
Yes,
So how long did it last?
that one I owned and all that from 1981 till 1990. And it expanded into 5 offices in Melbourne, and there was something here in the West as well, in Blacktown, and so on. And from one thing, it led to another, because you meet so many different people who are traveling.
Correct.
When you're in that business, you meet all different types of people and you become friends with them. So you then learn something different, and then you put your hands into something different after that.
Yes.
And
So that's good. So
Yeah.
what I wanted to know is that it seems like you loved traveling when you were a little bit, well,
Younger.
you're still young,
Yeah.
but a few years ago.
yes. Oh yeah.
So what I want to find out is what is your favorite place that you visited that you haven't forgotten?
Right.
Well, in Europe, I enjoyed traveling about, because I lived in Germany.
Yeah.
I liked Holland very much, to see that type of life. People, their homes are all open. At night time, when you go past, you just see through their windows. They just have curtains and you can see right in. Whereas you see the opposite in other parts of Europe. It's all closed down. They put the shutters down and you don't know if people are alive or not. So that was a difference, and the canals and that type of
What
thing.
about the Asia side? Which part of Asia do you think that you like the most?
In Asia, at the beginning, I was very impressed with Singapore.
Right.
I enjoyed Singapore. And then later, after I traveled to the Philippines, I saw a more natural, basic sort of lifestyle. And it's a beautiful place with over 7,000 islands. There's so much to see.
Didn't know where to go, which
Then
island.
I'm going to ask if it's high tide or low tide.
That's right, correct, yeah. High tide and low tide.
That was the
Exactly.
answer of the Miss Universe.
Exactly. No, but that's good. You're well traveled. You're not a worldly man, but you love experiencing the world on its own. It's very authentic people and culture.
Correct.
Now, moving forward, after your business in 1990, you mentioned transpired. What's next for you?
Well, at the moment, I think everything is clearly identified. If anyone looks around, you can see what will prosper and what won't. All you need to do is look up into the skies at the moment, and if you don't see many planes, you know there's not enough migrants. So there's no growth in that area. So if there's no growth, lots of businesses are going to suffer.
Right.
Yeah. But what I want to find
And-
out is after 1990, what business did you delve into?
Oh but prior to 1980, even I was already in business in Germany. I used to get many things assembled in India. I used to travel to India, to Bombay. They called it Bombay, Delhi, and many places I used to go because we used to get various products assembled in India and then reshipped to Germany.
Oh, wow.
This was in the I would say in the 70s. In the 70s.
Have you ever involved with a business, Brian, which is high technologies, like talking about night vision?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
And
from
Yeah.
the flight,
The travel.
to the night vision. Have you ever get into that kind of
As-
extreme business type of thing?
yes, at one stage, because I had this, the travel company was quite big, and
Right.
one of the biggest retail travel companies one would think in Australia. The turnover then was over $12 million a year at that time.
Yes.
And
That's before the flight center as well?
oh yes, they all followed what you will see. What I had a slogan which said, "We'll better any fare to anywhere."
And that's,
At that time.
And that's the killer.
that's yours.
Yes, yeah, that's what I created, and they had that jingle on the radio in
Wow.
Ceylon. And yeah, they reported that in lots of places. And if you tried to come into, and we were open like 7 days, 24 hours, because I used to tell Suzanne and the staff. Firstly, with the staff, I put them. I said, look, you can earn so much money to start with, right? We will go with what the regulation states, but for every file that you close, I am going to pay you out of that income we make. We call it flown revenue. People have already flown, then that money is ours. You get 30% of whatever we make. So even at that time in 1981, my staff who were working for me at that time were earning, most of them were earning over $1,000 a week.
That's a lot. That's
In
a lot.
1981.
That time, yes.
And so these girls, I had many of them, they've opened their own offices and all that, like Leti Perez and all, they all opened, they're Filipinos.
They
They all
opened
worked
their own
for me
Their
at
own
that time.
travel agent.
Yeah,
Yes.
they-
So Brian,
and-
as what you mentioned that there's
Yeah.
a lot of money in that flight, travel, whatever. So how was your lifestyle then? Were you having champagne breakfast at some 5-star hotel?
Well,
living in a penthouse?
because we were sending so much.
Imagine
so-
the $1,000 that you make as a
you know,
worker.
you-
Imagine how much he's making.
I know.
So
Yeah, but I had very large restaurants in the city. The Ceylon Curry Center. Then I was involved with some people in a nightclub.
So you delve into a lot of.
Yes. There was. I never put my eggs in one basket. I always make sure we diversify. So if there's a slump somewhere, we're still making money somewhere else.
right. That's a good
You know.
advice.
And I'd tell any young person who's in any business, don't stay committed just to one item. Yeah, don't
one
put your eggs
basket,
in one
yeah.
basket. Just make sure you spread it a bit.
You
You know?
spread it in the right.
In the right businesses. And at that time, these were all cash businesses. So, and in the travel industry especially, we are invited for all these various things. Hotels give you their
Penthouse.
penthouses when you travel to Singapore and anywhere at all, because you're giving them so much business and you don't have to pay for it either.
So
Right.
you're
So,
living the rich and the lifestyle.
Even in Germany, the same thing. We had first class tickets and all, first class even sometimes. We used to travel.
So
It's
did you ever meet anyone very interesting in your eyes? Any celebrity or anything that?
Oh, I
you
saw
find
many of
very-
them there are in photographs in the background. I didn't even know who they were because I was so drunk. I've been drinking so much because I was where is that now? It's near the Swiss Alps, near the Swiss Alps. Lake Como. Yeah, and
George
yeah.
Clooney, did you?
Yeah,
did you meet him?
Not him, but I forget now. There are some people in pictures, and people said, "Hey, take a look at that and look at that." And these are Hollywood
Yeah.
stars. And I said,
He
"Whoa!"
was apparently too
I was
drunk.
too busy with
We
my
should have
drinks,
been there, right? Sure.
and I didn't know they're all around me.
Don't drink though. That would be just me taking a photo with people. Not chatting.
And
Right.
You know, I love how you've enjoyed life, and and up to now. So
Yeah.
coming now, What are you doing, and what are you focusing on at this time?
Well, at the moment, I've quietened down a lot, but I'm focusing a bit now with the Philippines. As soon as the opportunity, it opens out a little more, I like to complete my ambition to complete building a 5-star hotel there, right? In the best place, and sort of relax on that island like Bantayan Island, because that is a beautiful place, even more beautiful than better than Boracay, but it's not so developed.
Have you been to Bantayan, Jojo?
I've heard of Bantayan.
Yes.
I have a dog named Bantay.
Oh.
But it's really refreshing to actually get to chat with you, because I know you're a very well-informed man. You've lived your life, and it's such an inspiration to see you happy and full of life. Yeah, Brian?
Thank you.
And one question for you, Brian. For those individuals who are watching now, and they've seen you, they've been working so hard all their life, what can you advise them?
Well, like I said, if you are working hard, you're a person who doesn't mind working 7 days a week, I would seriously think of getting into something of your own as well, because it can be successful. Because you already have proven that you can work 7 days and you don't mind about the time of day and all that. You can be successful.
So you really just want to make sure that they take the risks.
And yes,
even living a life, and it's all about risks as well.
Very true. And sometimes it's always good to get that gut feeling when someone proposes something or you find out something new, and make that decision fast. Do not procrastinate.
Like sleep overnight, or you don't have to sleep overnight?
You don't need to. Many people say, let me think about it. You know at once this is, it's not good. But if someone can just maybe go to the toilet, whatever it is, and come back in, their gut feeling tells them, well, this sounds good. What have I got to lose? X amount of money or X amount of my time, I'll grab it.
But you need to take risks, and for you to advance and actually to find out if it's for you or not.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Well, nothing's better than to have a job or whatever that you enjoy doing, isn't it?
Right.
Nothing's better.
Right.
And there are opportunities, believe me, still. And now every opportunity is clearly identified at the moment.
Mary Rose, do you have any
That's
other
fantastic.
questions?
Well, the saying, it's more fun in the Philippines, Brian. I think that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And are you itching your feet to fly right now?
Yes.
I mean, it's been almost 2 years. And when was the last time you've been in the Philippines, actually?
I think it was in 2019.
Right.
In 2018, actually, when we speak of Christmas to Christmas business, I flew about 5 times for the year.
Yeah, I just have one question to ask Brian. I know this question is a little bit intense. It's nothing to do with the chilling that we're talking about. Brian, talking about the tradition of some other cultures.
Yes.
I attended one of the human rights the other night, and what really baffles me is that there's men's on the other side and there's women on the other side. So obviously I sat in the middle and listened. So why do you think that there's discrepancies, or men look at women as, I'm not just saying this, but I attended one of the event from the past as well. This is why I'm sort of upset about it, because it says, sorry, no woman can sit with us. We're in Australia, for God's sake.
Exactly.
I just want to ask your view. I'm really sorry to bring this up. I know it's a little bit heavy rather than chilling. What is your opinion to that, Brian?
Well, I totally disagree with that type of culture and all that. That's really outdated stuff, If you're speaking of equality, it's equality for all, not for some, or just the men and not the women. Everything is equal, and you can't sort of.
How do you rectify this? Is there any chance that we can actually change their mind?
I suppose it's only this point which you just brought up, I think, is limited to certain ideologies or religions or whatever you want to call it, not to everybody else. The majority will entertain everyone. It's only a minority, a small portion, that is still segregating men from women and all that business. And I still recall about 2 years ago when Donald Trump was coming into power, they had some women's something in Saudi Arabia, and I looked at the picture and it was all men in there. And I thought, what are they talking about women? It should be women making the decision, not men.
Right.
And it just didn't make sense to me.
Right. So thank you so much for that view.
Let's make it lighter.
Let's
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this evening. We have our guest.
Brian Frugtniet.
Thank you for
Thank you for coming.
sharing your views again.
Right.
A man of travels, a man of fun, and a man of entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Brian. Congratulations, Brian. And thank you for being with us here.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jojo Almasora Sebastian, and of course, the beauty queen.
Mary Rose Salubre, thank you.
My love, you look so gorgeous in blue.
Oh, by the way, this is Trendy B. Thank you so much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. MSTV here with Jojo and Mary Rose. We would like to thank PIA
Right.
and Australia TV1. We will see you next time. Bye.